Hey everyone, we're sitting here today with Trey Mitchell, who just closed escrow on 9 units in Long Beach. And this is a great deal story that Trey is going to go into detail on, where we help the client not only sell the property, we helped source the buyer that came through our investor network, we helped the buyer obtain the financing for the property and also the appraisal. So this whole transaction was done under one roof that was led by Trey. So Trey, thanks for being here and talking through the highlights.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan.
So give us a download on, first off, the property and the sales stats.
Yeah, so the 9 units on Orizaba is located in the pocket of North Long Beach. And it was a deal that we were really excited to bring to the market because not many deals have come out to the open market in North Long Beach. Maybe a handful, if at all, throughout this year of 2024. It was a great going in cap rate at list price of just under about a 6% cap rate. And sure enough, we closed at a 5.8% cap rate, which is still great for the seller, but also pretty good for the buyer because he's getting very close to positive leverage with the interest rate that he was able to acquire through CBRE and Freddie Mac. But really, for a 70s product, majority 2-bedroom, 2 baths, 1 studio in the building, great parking, a lot of garage parking at this asset, and also the potential to convert some of the garages into ADUs and also be able to still have garages is a big plus. And that was something that this buyer was actually looking for.
Okay, great. So overall, great execution. Mm-hmm. There was also multiple offers.
There was, yes,
that you
there
procured.
was.
So there was some competition there. The buyer had to put their best foot forward. Mm-hmm. They liked the property from the yield perspective.
Yep.
And then also tell us about the seller.
So the seller, the reason why they decided to go to market when they did, the seller and I have been working with the relationship now for almost about 2 years. Internally, they had some things that's taking place, whether it be health-wise and some others. And they decided that it was time to execute a sale now. So the seller said, hey, I want to be as aggressive as possible, but he didn't want to be the one that's sitting on the market for way too long. So we decided that at that time, we went at the price of $2,475,000, which was just at about $275 a door. And for 70s product, that's pretty good in the whole grand scheme of Long Beach. But for North Long Beach, that could be considered rather aggressive. So running our full process as we do with CBRE and our team specifically, we were able to generate multiple offers in the marketplace and also find one that was able to pay what we would consider a premium for the building.
All right, so here's the sales stats. The property is located at 6744 Orizaba, total of 9 units, and we closed it at $2,410,000. Mm-hmm. And start from listing to close was just over 100 days.
Yeah, correct. And within those 100 days, we had to go, through a lot of hurdles. However, we were able to, number one, with all the boots that we had on the ground for this transaction, we were able to make sure that everything was disclosed appropriately. There was no surprises in escrow for the buyer. There was no surprises in escrow for the seller, and also the lender, because just as well as I do, when you deal with Fannie and Freddie, it's a very, very tedious process. And if you are not well educated within that process and can get ahead of things, there's a lot of false starts that take place that maybe require a significant credit, a significant price reduction, or other things that comes from the lender's side that some buyers may never know, and also sellers. So when we were able to get ahead of those things, we were able to execute within that 100-day window and have an escrow that closed, I believe, just around 70 days from when we opened. And really that's, I think, a testament to CBRE and the process that we ran.
Well, it was good that they had you running the process to make sure that they didn't have any false starts. The seller, picking the right buyer, making sure that they close, and then also the buyer's expecting that the lender's going to go through and there's not going to be any issues. So exactly. Trey and everybody on the team within CB that was active on the financing side really made sure that there wasn't those surprises from both sides.
Absolutely.
And you did a great job with that, because those agency loans are great, and it's great that CBRE can provide those directly, but again, it is a little different, and there is a little bit more thorough process, but the rates are fantastic.
Yeah, the rates are, and I think also with the marketplace not truly understanding, a Freddie program, We had a loan broker that was able to help our buyer be able to utilize some discounts within that because of where 6744 Orizaba is located, in more of what's considered a lower income marketplace. And so Freddie was then therefore comfortable and confident in giving the buyer a discount in their rate, when really I think when we went under contract, the five-year treasury note was just at about like 4.25%, and he was able to lock his rate at about 6.1%, which is pretty attractive.
And that's even lower today as the 10
Oh,
years
absolutely.
dropped
I mean,
even further.
Yeah, we're looking now at, I think if we're talking about the 5-year from when we went under contract to where we are today, that's almost a 75 basis point swing. So we're looking at things at around 3.5%, whereas in June of 2024 we were looking at 4.25%.
So as that relates to the interest rates, we're now in the mid to lower fives possibly if you get some of those buy downs?
Yeah, I would say if you get some of those buy downs, I'm not entirely privy to where those discounts lie, but I know right now if you're looking at a 5-year term, you're probably going to be just at around 5.75%, anywhere between 5.75% to about 6%.
Gotcha. So if you can get 5.5 to 6 caps on good real estate, that's
absolutely.
most likely going to clear, and that's where there's appetite from buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know this buyer too is looking at what he can do with his rent roll, and not be too overly aggressive, but just go through the process of applying rental increases. He's going to have a turnover here very soon where he'll have a vacant unit and be able to potentially achieve about $2,300 a month for his 2-bedroom, 2-bath with not too aggressive of a turn. And he will be realizing positive leverage here very, very shortly within owning the real estate for only about 2 or 3 months.
That's great. I mean, it sometimes takes a year or two to get to positive leverage.
Absolutely.
So to get there soon is attractive. I'm sure that was really important to the borrower, the buyer, and then also this was located in the buyer's operating area.
Yeah, correct. He has a couple assets in Bellflower, which are not very far away from Long Beach, and he's been very adamant in owning and operating real estate as close as he possibly can to what he already owns, and then seeing the I guess you could say almost a discounted cap rate in comparison to what his operating area is, to go into Long Beach and have a favorable going in cap rate. That was something that he was very confident in, and also the beauty about it also being that he was purchasing a building that was built in the 70s.
That sounds like a successful deal story all through and through. So
absolutely.
Thanks for coming on the video and sharing the insights, and we'd love to get your perspective more on opportunities that arise. The market in Long Beach is warming up. There's transactions taking place.
Yes.
There's assets coming on the market. There's owners thinking about divesting, and we've got capital, new money that wants to come into the market and acquire these buildings. So if you're watching this video, if you're thinking about maybe looking at your building potentially in Long Beach or within Southern California, and you're thinking about maybe exchanging or just understanding the current value in today's market, as the market warms up, we're seeing more owners revisit their equity and going over their options. So if you'd like, reach out to Trey. We'll put his contact information below, and we really appreciate everyone watching this video, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.